All right, boys, welcome to the new Red Hawk Academy in Peoria, Arizona. We got the coffee shop, we got 10,000 square feet of mat space, we got a full-size octagon, we have a weight room, showers, and my podcast studio. Come on in. All right, first thing you walk into the door, we got our new front desk set up. It was designed by a guy named Jamie Birch Designs on Instagram, and he really went crazy with it. And then he went crazy on the Java House logos, and it looks beautiful. As soon as you walk in, you can come to the front desk and do a drop-in, sign up for a membership, or you can walk over here to the coffee shop and grab yourself a matcha or one of the best lattes in town. All right, this is our coffee shop. It's called the Red Hawk's Java House, and we have specialty coffee. We have freshly roasted beans delivered weekly. We have organic milks, and we have homemade sweeteners for all the different coffees. We have some of the best quality matcha, have acai bowls, and recovery drinks if you're looking to recover from your training or getting a little boost before training. We have top of the line La Marzocco equipment with the top of the line Mazzer grinder, and our coffee is some of the best in town. If you come by and try it, you'll agree. And it's real pride and joy. I've loved coffee for a long time, so having the coffee shop connected to my dojo is pretty awesome. This one is it feels more home. We have a ton of space for people to sit, come before practice and read books and hang out, and just having the coffee shop connected to the gym and not have it be a separate studio has been really awesome. My go-to drinks are always the lattes. The lattes, you cannot beat them. They come with cold foam, fresh espresso, and the homemade sweeteners that are made at home. It's really just a phenomenal cup of joe. My previous gym, I had about 3,000 square feet of mat space, and then room 2, I had 1,100 square feet in mat space. Total, I have about 9,800 square feet of mat space here. We like to wrestle live, and we like to grapple live from our feet. So it's really nice to come into practice and have room to do that instead of always just wrestling from your knees or doing jiu-jitsu from your butt. All right, so our main mat space is 6,500 square feet of 2-inch Fuji mats. We have about 100 feet of wall mats, so there's tons of room to wrestle on the wall, do stand-ups on the wall, and I really, really love this mat space. Most gyms you go to, it's super crowded, you're running into partners, people are double-legging people and blowing out their knees. This mat space gives us tons of space to have a bunch of groups and have big classes and get some real work in. So now the old gym had a 24-foot cage, and we took that cage and we just made a nice long cage wall that we can wrestle in and grapple against, and it just gives us a lot of space where we can have a lot of groups, a lot of 4-man groups going, working against the cage. All right, so this is mat number 2. We have a little over 3,000 square foot of mat space on this mat, and we have 11 professional bags for people that are coming in doing kickboxing classes, and this is where a lot of our beginners classes go on. Beginners classes, privates, and it's a ton of space where you can get a lot of work done here also. One thing I really love is we have a full-size octagon. It's a 30-foot octagon, 900 square feet, and it's the only one in Phoenix. So it gives you a realistic look. If you're fighting in the UFC and you're fighting in the big cage, it's quite a bit different than the smaller cage in the Apex. Most gyms have those smaller cages. So having the 30-foot cage where people can spar and get a realistic feel of the UFC octagon, I really love it. And then one of my favorite parts about this new gym is the 950 square foot weight room with the top of the line equipment to get strong and make sure your heart's in shape for competing jiu-jitsu or getting ready for a fight. So also in the weight room, we have a big garage door so you can get fresh air when you're training. Out back, you can do wall balls, you can do sled pushes, we can do sprints out back, get some fresh air while you're training hard. Now in the weight room, I picked a ski erg. Ski ergs are really good for when you're wrestling and grappling and hand fighting, and good for snap downs. I have dumbbells, kettlebells. We have the GHD machine, which is really good for your hamstrings, your butt, a lower back. And we have a Concept 2 rower, which is really good for your back. A lot of jiu-jitsu, a lot of wrestling, you need good back muscles. So we got the equipment for it. We have 6 assault bikes. So when we're finishing up training, sometimes before training, we'll hit some hard assault bike sprints. And then we have the Versa Climber. The Versa Climber will get your heart rate very, very high, and it's good for explosive sprints and getting your heart ready to fight. We have the Giant lifting machine where it has cables, it has the rows, it has the seated rows. Then we have some box jumps, hex bar deadlift, everything you really need to really get in shape. So right through the weight room, we enter the mat space, the mat 2. When we're doing circuits, guys getting them ready for fights, where I'm putting them through wall balls, I'm putting them through the ground and pound bags. It's really good to have access to the weight room right into the mat space so we can really mimic a fight the best possible way. And thank you to Phillips Law Foundation for helping sponsor the gym and help me get everything going. Without them, it would have been really, really hard, but shout out Phillips Law. If you have any injuries, anything that went south, car wrecks, hit up Phillips Law, they'll get you taken care of. Okay guys, welcome into my office, my podcast studio. It's one of my favorite parts about the gym. It's above the gym. Come on in. All right, so first up, right when you come in here, we have my streaming setup where sometimes I'll stream some Call of Duty, play some games. I'll do a lot of film study on this computer also. Having the YouTube right here where I can watch fights, break them down, watch them in slow-mo, watch people's tendencies. It's really nice to have my streaming setup right here. Next up, we'll come to these windows. Now these windows are mirrored windows. They're pretty cool. You can't see in, but you can see out. So especially, I like to see the flow of things. When classes are going on, it's really busy in the nights. I like to see the flow of things, how everything's going. They don't know I'm watching them, and I really like being able to oversee everything. Next up, we'll head over here to my podcast studio, the Red Hawk Recap. It's on YouTube. I've been doing the Red Hawk Recap now at least 4 years doing the Red Hawk Recap. And I really, really love doing my podcast, having different guests on, having different coaches on, and being able to pick their brain and having some funny times with Joe Riggs. All right, so one thing we have right behind the Red Hawk Recap is another original painting by Marcelo, All Nations Tattoos on Instagram. He came in here and he freehanded this with markers with his hand, and he just built this beautiful piece that's the backdrop of the Red Hawk Recap. And then as always, we got a volcano on deck. If you need some nice, smooth herbulation, we got the volcano on deck, ready to go. Now let's take a roll over onto the other podcast studio. This podcast I do on Patreon, patreon.com/RedHawkAcademy, and we have the confidential show that is weekly. We have a nice couch set up. We have the TV, so when we want to watch fights, a good spot to come, relax, watch some YouTube, and just enjoy. Also over here, we have a bunch of original paintings. This original painting I bought for Mariah, but it looks really good in the studio here. It's a picture of a horse. A picture of a horse, original. We got Tupac. We have the Native American with boxing gloves with a headdress. We also have another Native American here. We have some original paintings over here. This is one of my favorites. This is also by Marcelo. This was in the coffee shop, but we didn't have room for it here, and it's just a beautiful original by Marcelo. I really like this studio. It's almost like a little art gallery, and it has my podcast studios. It has my streaming setup where I can watch film. It's really one of my favorite parts about the gym. It gives me a nice place to come, kick back, and smoke a bag. So one of my favorite parts of the gym is the art that we have around. We have a lot of original pieces. Our tattoo artist, All Nations Tattoos, Marcelo, he came in and free-handed this bird. It's one of my favorite things about the gym. He came in here and just went crazy on this bird, and it's really, really badass Red Hawk. This space came available, and it was a really run down. It needed new paint, it needed new toilets, it needed new everything. It was a really dusty building. So I've never really been a general contractor before, but for this setup, I needed to be a general contractor. And it was real stressful at first, but it came together. My first gym, it was a 900 square foot mechanics garage, and it was a real dump. At the time, I thought it was real cool just because it was my own space, and that's one thing that I think I did right, is just build slowly. A lot of gyms, they try to open up, and they get out a bunch of loans, or they have all these investors, and now it takes the fun away from coming in, being able to train and teach. For me, I started very, very small. The first place I got, it was $900 a month. So I had, I think, 8 members that covered the rent. and then I built up to about 20 members, moved on to a 2,000 square foot building, grew to about 35, 40 members, moved on to my next building that was about 5,000 square feet, and then ended up getting this place, which is 12,000 square feet total, and it already feels like home. All right, guys, so that's the new Red Hawk Academy HQ. If you're ever in town, want to do a drop-in, you're more than welcome to come by, or we do have a few spots on the team left if you want to come in and join. But like I said, you're more than welcome to come by and check out the facility. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week.